Hi everyone, it's Weekend Warp time again, uh, and our weekly roundup of top AI stories or the top three AI stories every week. This week, I think the top story was not in any doubt, and uh, it was centered in France, in Paris to be exact. The Paris AI Action Summit, co-hosted by France and India, was held this week. The 2 day summit in which 70 plus nations were there, which included the US, it included China, UK, everyone. Things were going along expected lines. It was a little different from the Bletchley Park Summit, which focused primarily on responsibility, ethics, etc. But with the changing world, this summit focused on the action part too. And there was a announcement, an action announcement, in fact, a day before the summit, where where a new model was launched by Mistral, the French player, which is something which is being reported to be almost as good as GPT, etc. But that wasn't the news. The news was that both the US and the UK refused to sign the Paris AI Action Summit agreement, broke away with every other country, including India, China, the EU, and other European countries and global countries. The agreement was about global cooperation in AI. And the US said that, look, it's going to go all alone. It's numero uno in AI. It's America first. And pretty much like in every other sphere, the US kind of broke away separated from the rest of the world. The vice president of the US was there. He gave a bit of a contentious speech, an aggressive speech, breaking away. And what do I think about it? I think it's not a good thing. In technologies like AI, the world needs to work together, come together. That's what happened in nuclear power and atomic energy, and that's what has kind of, in many ways, helped us harness the good parts of nuclear power, but also avoid, at least so far, another catastrophe after Hiroshima. And so I think that's not a good path. And countries like India are kind of stuck in the middle. Uh, they want good relations with the US. On the other hand, they need to work with the world. So far, India is obviously a co-signatory. The UK was the surprise, and the US was not as much as a surprise because the UK had hosted the Bletchley Park summit before that, in which all the countries signed a global cooperation agreement in AI. And in this case, I think just to curry favor with the US, they broke away. And so it's not very good news to start with. Um, in other news, OpenAI announced that they would finally launch GPT-5. They had been working on a internal project which they called Orion or GPT 4.5, and they said GPT-5 would be launched and probably it would be their last big, massive foundational model. It'll include everything that's been done so far. It'll all converge, and this whole naming mania and confusion that they had so far hopefully will come down. But after this, they will focus more and more on hardcore reasoning models as they strive towards AGI. A bit of pressure from Anthropic and Mistral and Gemini, etc., I think led to this decision. But folks, GPT-5 is going to be here very soon. And that's actually a second big news this week. What else? The third deep research came out. Uh, Google was the first of the blocks launching Gemini Deep Research, which is, almost like a proto agent. One of the most useful AI tools, generative AI tools, in my opinion, since ChatGPT. And Deep Research actually goes in and you give it a research question, it goes in and tells you a research plan and then produces a very detailed report on 10-page, 20-page report on what you needed from it. So if you want to build a strategy for what's going to happen in to sugar prices and sugar trading basis, basis developments happening in the world and using agentic AI or something, of that nature, it'll actually build a report for you and give it to you. But then that's not the news. After that, a couple of weeks back, uh, OpenAI came with its own research tool called Deep Research. And that's now only available with the $200 plan. Google is available with the premium plan, $20. This is only available with GPT Pro, which is at the $200 plan. It'll come down, but reports suggest that GPT Pro is the GPT that OpenAI's deep research is much better than Google's deep research. You know, in all these exams, and it's especially the tough exams, PhD level exams. It's been able to get some good marks. And then yesterday, Perplexity launched a research tool called Surprise Surprise Deep Research. So there are now 3 deep researches in the market, and arguably the Perplexity one is the probably the best for us because it's available free to all users. As I said, OpenAI and Google is not. And pro users get 500 daily queries, which is quite a lot. And the fun part is it actually leverages DeepSeek, yes, the Chinese model under the hood, and therefore it is cheaper and has competitive benchmarks. So those were the 3 things. The Paris AI Action Summit, not very good news. GPT-5, well, good news for people who are rooting for AI. And then deep research, which I think all of us, all of you, should actually go and look at, whether with the Google's deep research or OpenAI's deep research, or perhaps best of all, Perplexity's deep research. Until next week and more, we can warp until then, and look forward to your feedback on this and how how we can make this better. What else would you need from this? Look forward to that. Thank you.